Good morning and good evening to everyone. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to day 2 of Siddhendra Aradhana, the festival of dance. Today we start with inviting a famous dance guru, Srimati Yashoda Thakur. Good evening, Andy.
Hi,
Nice.
Kiran.
Hi. Sorry,
Namaskaram. Good to see you.
good to see you too. So, thank you for coming and being a part of Siddhendra Aradhana, the festival of dance. I really appreciate you being a part of it. And without you, I don't think I would have started this one. You've been a backbone to me for this installation and for this to go live. Thank you once again.
My pleasure, Kiran. And it's always a pleasure when you have your friends from the university. We are classmates, if not classmates, we are from the same university.
Thank
It's the
you.
Central University power.
Yes, yes,
So
it is.
it's
It
good to
is.
be with you.
See, see you. It's always good to see you, Yashoda. Um,
So,
to viewers out there, I'm going to say a few words about Yashoda Thakur. Yashoda Thakur descends from a long line of Kalavantulu dancers, hereditary women singers, dance families. She is a renowned performer of Kuchipudi and devadasi Natyam and has performed on national and international stages to great acclaim. Yashoda was restlessly to relentlessly to recover the voice and dance of Kalavantulu women and to bring the next generation of artists for her community back to singing and dancing. Her main goal is awareness and pride in these art forms. She has a PhD for her research on the interrelationship between yoga and Indian classical dance. And her author, Kaivalya, Joy in Yoga and Dance, was published 2014. Co-translated and critically edited Nritya Ratnavali and a 13th century text. She was an artist in resident at University of Pennsylvania 2019 and performed at Wesleyan University 2019. Yashoda is faculty of Kuchipudi at University of Silicon, California. She was conferred the Bangalore Nagaratnam Award 2017 by Sanskrit organization Guntur and Ugadi Puraskaram by the government of Andhra Pradesh. Welcome to the show, Yashoda Thakur.
thank you, Kiran. That sounds so formal.
Thank you very much. I know it sounds formal, but for the viewers, I need to tell you who you are. Not that they don't know who you are, but so it is an immense pleasure to talk to you every time because you are a bundle of knowledge and you come from, again, you hail from this Kalavantulu, dance family. You care to talk about what exactly that is because that's a new term for the viewers and even sometimes for me also. So if you like to enlighten us with your knowledge about what is this Kalamantulu dances.
So we are generally familiar with the term devadasi, right, Kiran?
Correct.
And the term devadasi is quite a modern term, really. It's not as ancient as we are led to believe it is.
Right.
These dancers, all of us know of temple dancers. We knew that the temples had dancers, and then you don't know anything about them. Then there suddenly appear the classical dances, right?
Right. Right.
What happened in between? What happened to those women who danced in the temples? They also danced in the courts at that time. In fact, they danced in the courts and the temples at the same time. It's not like one after the other.
Right.
So these families, these ladies who performed in the temples and the courts and later in the zamindari samsthanams, they were they along with other communities like the Joginis and the Matangis and any woman whose social status was ambiguous,
Right.
whose marital status was ambiguous. Let me put it that way. Who was not married as in the Catholic sense.
Right.
They were all shoved under the umbrella title of Devadasi. So
Oh,
most of us know Devadasi as only the temple dancer. But
right.
if you look at it technically, if you look at it from the government annals side, what the Britishers had done was they said they had to categorize the society, right? They had to, this is for administration. So when they categorized, there were these miscellaneous women who were not married and they didn't know where to put them. So all of them came under this title of Devadasi. So today, actually, when we say Devadasi, that's another debate that's on. When you say Devadasi, you are also talking about the Matangis and the Joginis and the other women who are also connected to the temple. It's just that they don't dance the padams and the javalis and the varnams that we are familiar with. They were not the ones who danced in the court and others, but there were other dances, other art forms that they have done. So they were also, in fact, they were considered another form of the goddess. So that's a practice by itself. So what were these women called? What were these women who were dedicated to the temple for art to perform? Uh, what were they called when we come to that question?
Mhm.
The women were called variously in different areas.
Uh,
Um, they were called Kalavantulu in the Telugu land, and they were called Maharis in Orissa.
right.
They, in the Tamil land, much later, they took on the name of Ishai Velalar. In Maharashtra, they are called Kalavant. So when I say, yeah, so when I say Kalavantulu, I'm basically referring to these hereditary women singer dancers
Okay.
uh,
So,
of the Telugu land. But
right.
then I keep saying Telugu land because only because the term used in Tamil land is different. But otherwise, the tradition is the same. Uh, especially with the Tamil and the Telugu lands, the the way the dance was performed was more or less the same.
Hmm. Okay.
So, yeah.
So, you're saying the ladies, is it only specific to ladies, or it's like generally even men are being in that category also?
So the men, when you have the Nagaswaram players, we know we had Sannai Appana movie, if
Right.
you remember.
Yes.
So Nagaswaram players are from the families of the Kadavantulu, but then they formed a separate community. They marry the non-dancing women from the Devadasis. So we'll use the term Devadasi because that's what everybody is familiar with, right? Just for familiarity. So they would marry the non-dancing women from the Devadasi families, and they would be the performers. They would be the accompanists for the dancing women, for
Okay.
the Devadasi dancing women.
Dancing women. Okay.
Yes. Um, and you also have, actually you have the Natwanar families and the Pillai families.
Right.
In Tamil Nadu, the men took up dancing. They accompanied, they taught, they sang, they played the mridangam. Even in Andhra Pradesh, actually, you do have lots of mridangis, and you have quite a few of them who are artists. It's just that
Artists.
they haven't come to light.
Right. Right. Yes. So these devadasis, they were not said to be getting married, or they won't be able to marry, or how is that? How that are they dedicated to God per se, only for the performers performing aspect of it, or how did that work?
So basically, with the Devadasi community, it's not always about mother to child, Kiran. They
Right.
were also adopted. So if you go way back, girls came in from different communities, they came in from different families, and they were included into this guild of families,
Family.
to perform for the temple. And whether it is the temple or the court, see, finally, one basic thing we all miss is the temple has to be maintained by the king, right?
Right.
So the temple has to be constructed by the king.
Right.
And there was only one rule: whatever the king enjoyed, the better part of it went to the god. So, whatever the king had, if he was
Had.
given something in Naivedyam, the better
Right.
Naivedyam went to God.
Right. Right.
Right?
I
So,
got. Yes.
so it coexisted, and it happened under the aegis of the king, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Now, I forget your question. Were they, yeah, these ladies were dedicated to the temple in the sense they were under contract with the temple. It was
Hmm.
an agreement with the temple that they had.
Okay.
So they were quite, are they forced into it? I don't think they were forced into it.
Okay.
They were not really pushed into it.
Pushed into it. Okay.
Yeah. There was no need to push anybody into it.
Right. Right.
Kiran, just give me 1 minute. I think there's a lot of outside noise for you.
Sure. Yeah. Take your time. So that was Yashoda Thakur telling about Kalavantalu and their tradition, and her relentless work is going to be um, was or is still on bringing out the art form out together. So now we will talk about the same in another few minutes to with Yashoda Thakur. There is some kind of interruption in regards to the connection. We'll be back.
Okay, I think I'm okay now, Kiran.
All right, good.
I'm sorry
Welcome.
about that.
That's perfectly fine.
I live opposite the railway track. So when the train goes, we are all in reverential
Absolutely.
silence.
I understand.
Right.
So, so the dance they perform, is it restricted when at least not court performers, but the temple performers? Is it restricted to the temple, or do they do like outside performances, like going there and I'm a devadasi from that particular temple, so I've come here to perform or to showcase, or how does that work?
Not really, unless the king wanted her to come to the court, or perform for a certain occasion. That
Okay.
was when she could go out. But then she was not a public performer as such.
Okay. Okay. So it's only during the temple occasions.
Yeah, but later, this was at one point of time, right? There is an evolution
Right.
process. So
Right.
I'll just forward my podcast to you, Kiran. Maybe you can share it with uh, your
Absolutely.
viewers.
Sure.
And it talks about the whole story. It's called Her Story of Dance.
Right.
So
Oh,
it is the story of the Devadasi through me.
devadasi. Okay.
So
That's
maybe that'll give you a complete picture.
complete insight of it. Yes, definitely. We would love that. So
Yeah.
you've been still working with these ladies, ladies and these families to bring them out, or to
Yes.
yes,
So I go back to them and I learn from them. I began with by learning Vilasini Natyam from Swapna Sundari garu,
right,
because she claimed that she was doing uh, the dance of the Devadasis, and she has done a lot of research.
right,
So I began with that, and then I just moved on. I wanted to
Right.
meet because for me it is family, right? I
Right.
wanted to see family. I
Correct.
wanted to learn from them directly. So
Right.
I then moved on to them and I go to them. Yes, I do learn, but more than learning, I connect with them.
Right.
It's more about learning life itself. And believe me, connecting with them and connecting with that that kind changes life.
Right.
Connecting at the organic level,
Right.
it just peels off all the facades that we have,
Right.
and you just begin to see reality, and
What exactly it is. Yes.
it's very humbling when you begin to learn this.
Yes, yes. Maybe given the time, I would, with you, have another session with the Devadasi herself, and then we can, get an insight exactly it is.
Sure.
Um,
Let's see how it works.
yes,
Let's.
absolutely. So the dances they perform, Devadasi Natyam, do they have any similarities with the current dance forms, or from each area? Of course, it's different, is what you said. But when it comes to the Telugu side, or Tamil Nadu, is it related, or even it is linked to Bharatanatyam or Kuchipudi, or is it like are there any similarities, or what is the difference?
The classical dances that we have now, most of them at least, are a direct takeaway from those of the Devadasis.
Right,
There is no doubt about it. There can be arguments, there can be people may not want to accept it, but it's a fact.
right,
It's uh, people don't accept it; they don't accept. It's a choice, but
right,
then it's a fact. Because Bharatanatyam, they're quite clear about it. They say from the temple to theatre.
right,
The problem there is they don't talk about between the temple and the theater what happened to the women. It's very
right,
embarrassing for them to talk about them because the morality comes in there.
right, right.
But then we know Bharatanatyam, everything is from the Devadasi,
Mm.
directly from them.
Devdasis. Okay.
Yeah. And with Odissi, of course, it is from the Maharis.
Maharis. Yes.
It is completely from the Maharis. Kathak, we know the Tawaives carried it on them.
Right,
When it comes to Kuchipudi, which is our area of interest,
right,
so when it comes to Kuchipudi, we are a very interesting combination of so many things, Kiran. It's a very complex and very interesting history for Kuchipudi. So I don't like to, I don't like to gloss over the history by talking about stories which have no evidence. But if you look at the anthropological development of Kuchipudi, you cannot deny the fact that the Pagati Vesham and the Vidhi Natakam had a big say in the theatrical side of Kuchipudi.
right,
And we know Kuchipudi as a theatre form, right?
right.
We
Yes,
know it as a Yakshagana form, and we
yes,
know Kuchipudi as a Kalapam form,
yes.
which is theatre and semi theatre, right? And then when it came to Lakshmi Narayana Shastri Garu, Vedantan Lakshmi Narayana Shastri Garu, when he brought in women again, I say again,
Yeah,
and when he brought in the solo form, the repertoire that he had, that he brought into this, was that of the who were all around the village of Kuchipudi. So
right,
whether you see Andhra Mahavishnu, Srikakulam Andhra Mahavishnu temple just across Kuchipudi, or Nagai Lanka on the other side, all around there are temples and samsthanams which
mm,
had Devadasis, which had Kalavantalu
right,
performing.
right.
So where will the solo repertoire come from?
Yes,
Because it's a theatre form, right? And where will the solo repertoire come from? There is historical evidence that Lakshmi Narayan Shastri Garu, he was a mentor for these Kalavantalu ladies because he was the educated Sanskrit scholar, right? And he was a visionary. The Kuchipudi gurus of yore were visionaries par excellence. this is a given.
Right.
Now, he understood that to keep the Yakshagana going, it's going to be an economical problem and it's going to be a very practical problem, even with Bhama Kalapam, because how much, how do you know that all the boys coming up would be suitable for a female character? It's touch and go, right?
Yes.
A boy who may be suitable may not want to do a female character after a certain time. By the
Right.
20th century, his was the 20th century, by the 20th century itself, the numbers were dwindling, Sri Vaisham numbers.
Right.
How many do we have today? If he had not taken the step of bringing in solo form, where would have Kuchipudi been today? Who is doing, where is Yakshagana? We want to see Yakshagana. Where is Yakshagana? Yeah. So see, it survives today. It survives on solo performances. This is a hard fact, and
Right.
it survives on women's bodies.
Right.
So Bhama Kalapam, that is also Kuchipudi's. It's a stamp, right? Kuchipudi's brand is Bhama Kalapam. Bhama Kalapam, interestingly, is also performed by the marginalized communities of Turpu Bhagavatam, Chindu Yakshaganam, Devadasis, the Kalavantulu, and there's so many. It's not just Kuchipudi which does Bhama Kalapam. It is not just Kuchipudi that does Yakshaganam. Uh, so there are so many groups. The itinerary uh, dancing communities, families which only survive on this, that do the same. Golla Kalapam is done by Turpa Bhagavatam, beautiful script and
Right.
beautiful rendering.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you cannot say that there is no connection with the Devadasi. It has been. The dance, it's only logical. It is
Correct.
the mother. Okay.
No, I agree to all of that and beyond more. I mean, it is way beyond what we think it is, and
Yes.
we know only little part of it. There is
Right.
so much around it. I don't think one life is enough to know the history or the heritage behind one particular art form or
Yes.
any art form for that matter. So
That's right.
I have a viewer asking a question. Um, do you want to start a Kuchipudi school too? Is what the question was.
I have a Kuchipudi school.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, I am a Kuchipudi dancer. I am a
Right.
student of Mrs. Shobha Naidu,
Of course.
and I've been with her for 14 years. 14 years. I don't think the dancers of today can even imagine what I'm saying. I have not so much as seen another dancer. Forget about learning. I have not seen another dancer just once because she was dancing ahead of my teacher in Trivandrum. I watched Mami, uh, Kalanidhi Mami, do a leg den. That was it. I haven't watched anybody else. It's only when I joined my master's in dance
Mhm.
at the Central University that the world opened out to me. So the kind of training I have taken right from the time Master Garu had set up the Kuchipudi Art Academy in Hyderabad is is complete. I'm a Kuchipudi dancer, and then it is with this earnestness to know the roots, to go back to the roots and find out the real history also of Kuchipudi that I do my research, and it continues. There is no end to it. I have my academy, Rinda Sarinya Kuchipudi Dance Academy, from where there are so many students. I have PhD scholars coming out from there, from our university, from the Central
From
University.
our university,
So,
yes. And you've been a guest lecturer even for Central University on and off teaching them.
yes,
Yes. So
yoga, I also do yoga with them.
yes, now my next question is coming there. So
Yeah.
in regards to your PhD work, Kaivalya. It's an interesting topic for me. Kaivalya, yoga, and dance. It's like I know there is a relation because your body has to move and all, but knowing from you, maybe it gives us even more deeper insight. So, what is Kaivalya is all about?
So, Kaivalya is basically the book that I have written,
Right,
and it is an inspiration from my PhD thesis,
right,
the PhD dissertation. For me, when we talk about yoga, Kiran, a little disclaimer first is I'm only talking about the Patanjali yoga,
right,
and I can only touch the tip of the iceberg. I can't really get into the depth of it, right?
right,
Even in the dissertation, today when I look at my dissertation, I'm like, oh God, can I do this again? But it's only after the dissertation that yoga came across in its complete sense. Then I
right,
realized that it's not just dance that encompasses yoga in it. Everything that we do, everything, even the wish to dance, that strong wish to dance,
right,
and that focus, when it finally takes you to dance, is yoga. Everything
right,
about it, right? It's all about harnessing all the activities of the mind in one direction. When we are talking about now my answers will not be extremely philosophical and deep. They'll
that's
be uh, because I really don't want to throw off my viewers. I know they're all kids, your students. So
that
I
we have a number of audience. So yeah, go ahead.
okay. So I do want you to understand that dance itself is yoga, no doubt about it.
Right,
But to say that, you need to understand yoga itself. When we talk about yoga, I don't teach yoga, by the way, only
that's
at the Central University. I taught it as a course for 6 months
right.
as part of the Study in India program for credits. That's how I taught it as an academic course.
Course. Okay.
But I don't teach yoga at home or as an institute or anything like that because I feel I'm still not qualified. I
Right.
am not qualified. And when you talk about yoga, it is not just about asanas and the physical movement. It is not about pranayama only either.
Right.
It's about, very interestingly, when Patanjali talks about the Ashtanga yoga, which is his yoga, the first one that he gives, actually, it's a cycle. You can begin anywhere and you can get
Back.
all the other seven into it. You can, so the easiest way to begin is with the asana, right? You
Right.
go, that's why, but the problem is we get stuck at the asana point. But one of the 8 tenets that Patanjali gives is yama. Yama is social discipline, social responsibility. So the beauty about Patanjali, who really is my hero, is that he says, you live in this society. You live in the society and you conquer yourself. You don't have to leave the society and go elsewhere.
Right.
You are part of this, right? That's the train. I'm sorry about the train.
That's okay. Mhm.
Okay, so social responsibility and personal discipline, what you do to yourself.
Right.
So, this social awareness, social responsibility, and social discipline comes across at once in Kuchipudi because it is such an organic, rooted dance form, right? It
Right.
comes from Pagati Veshalu. It comes from Vidhi Natakam.
Right.
So there's a certain rawness about it. There is certain earthiness about it. That's what makes people connect to Kuchipudi so quickly.
Right.
So why? What happens because of that? You are in connection with society. Because of that, you you are reaching out to society like no other form does. Now, immediately the audience connects with what you're doing, and so you have a responsibility to
Right.
give them the right message.
True.
Again, the audience don't come there to listen to moral science stories, right? They're coming there to watch dance. So you give them the right kind of dance, you create the right energy while you're dancing. So again, the question is, what is right energy? What is right for you may be wrong for somebody else, right?
Correct.
So there is a question, Patanjali has an answer for everything. So when you talk about the chakras, the shat chakras in the body, whatever movement you do, what is the chakra that is being activated? Each chakra has its own purpose. So, what is the chakra that is being activated is something you have to question.
Mhm.
So, when you sit there and you create a kind of pleasantness through Shringara, let's face it, yeah, whatever we do, and even if we say bhakti, there is no difference between bhakti and Shringara in our culture.
Right.
Bhakti and Shringara are, it's love. Bhakti means love. Yeah. So it is about what are you creating in the ambience that you are sitting in to your audience.
Right.
So right from the word go, dance is all about yoga, but so is everything. So is organic chemistry. Everything is yoga. That's the beauty about yoga. You know, it's just so large. It encompasses everything in the universe.
Right. Yes, it does. It is a beautiful, I can't say an art form. I think it should be a way of life, is what,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, exactly. It's not an art form. It's
No.
not an art form. And when people do yoga on stage as a visual thing,
Right.
I get a catch in my stomach. You know, I wish they would do it. It's not to be done like that at
Yes.
all.
Yes.
And I do the Sadguru yoga, Kiran,
Oh,
and
that's
Sadguru Isha yoga,
right.
and completely at peace
Yes.
and in a state of joy.
Yeah, probably.
Sadhguru says, if you are at peace, it's not enough. You have to be joyful. So, which
That's
makes
a
so much sense.
concept. That's a very interesting
Yes.
concept. Yeah. At peace, but enjoy. Yeah. But oh,
Yes.
that's why you named Joy of Yoga.
Yes.
That's
Joy in yoga and dance.
joy in, yeah, joy in yoga and dance. So your passion, both joy of yoga and also dance, is like combined, is called kaivalya. Kaivalya is the attainment of the moksha, or whatever you call it. The
So, Kaivalya is freedom. That's the beauty about it. Kaivalya is actually freedom. So Patanjali talks about freedom from attachments, freedom from. So when I say freedom from attachments, again, it gives this thing of how can we not be attached to children? How can we
not
not be
worldly
attached to
attachment,
husband?
right?
Yeah. Basically, he means clarity. When there is no clarity, then there is attachment. So much clarity that when you see red, you see it as red and you don't see it as orange. When you see a problem coming across, you know what the problem exactly is and from where it is coming, the source of that problem,
Right.
right?
Correct.
And then you know how to clear it up. So there is so much freedom. You're not entangled with the problem, but you know you need to go back to the source,
Source. Yes.
right?
Yes. So how this yoga? Well, yoga is dance. Dance is yoga. I mean, when you take the word meaning, but how it when it comes to the performers here, how do we get advantages, and how yoga is kind of giving us that next level to be in dancing, or to be in whatever art form you are in, or one is in.
So this is a process, Kiran. This is not a quick fix thing. I'm sorry, that's my dog.
That's
Okay, this is a process, and it it just goes together. As you keep practicing your yoga, your dance keeps going ahead, and this practice keeps going on. The dance keeps going from step to step, but this has to keep going on.
Right.
So if you ask me, this may dance gurus may just kill me or bury me alive, but I say it's healthier to do more yoga and a little bit of dance practice always. It is
Right.
the smart way of practicing dance. Then what happens is you strengthen yourself, your flexibility is in place, your mind is clear, the land is fertile, the land in the mind is fertile, and you dance for muscle memory. You practice your dance for muscle memory.
Right.
Now, every time you dance, this has happened to me, Kiran. So, every time you dance, you are not dancing something that you have learnt by heart now. The experience is different.
True.
Because of muscle memory, the flow of the item, this is important for us, right? The item has to flow,
Yeah.
which is after a certain age, it gets very difficult, right? Ooh, what comes after this? What movement comes after this?
Yes.
And you need to learn that. But after a while, when you dance, you are not doing it mechanically. Every time the body is experiencing, every cell of the body is experiencing the same dikta, dinita, jati. It's a different experience when you're doing. When you
Right.
do Tarajam, as basic as Brahmanjali, when you do the Brahmanjali or Guru Brahma slokam, because all the faculties, every cell is open for the experience. Every time you do it, it just gives you a certain thrill, a certain joy.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's about doing the practice continuously of yoga and dancing a little bit, practicing whatever you have to, and
Right.
then being aware. What happens with yoga is awareness increases. That is most important for us.
Correct.
Manaki, when we learned our dance, tadiginatom, finishing chayi.
Right.
Take it back to that
Take
place.
back the place. Yes.
What is that finishing chayi? That finishing chayi is be aware of what you are doing.
Um,
So when you're doing tadiginata, when you're not aware, tadiginata, it's just dropped there. So
right.
when you say finishing chayi, tadiginata, are you aware that the hand has gone back there? So it's ఆ తర్వాత the teacher doesn't have to say finishing chayi. That girl will not lift the left hand before the right hand has reached its home.
Right. Absolutely. That's the insight
Yeah.
of Kaivalya, the book. So, where can we get this book if we go to India?
Oh, it's with me. Sorry,
Okay.
the books with me. I can post them, or it's
Absolutely.
there in Saptaparni.
Okay.
So um,
Well, next
I,
time when I come to India, I would make
yes,
sure that I will take a few and then maybe give some of my colleagues here if they want. Yeah, that's something which we need to learn or understand or go inside about it. Well, our viewers, if you have any questions, post it now or else forever hold your peace. You can talk to her later. Thank you for your insight, a brief description about your work and your thoughts about Kaivalya and also Devadasi Natyam, Yashoda. It was like always an honor to talk to you and get back to your roots. And then it's really enlightening, I would say. You know,
thank
you
you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
thank you. Okay, now
Thank
I would like to, showcase some of your items which you have sent me. And you want to talk about those?
Yeah, the first one is a Swarapallavi.
Okay,
The Swarapallavi in Hamsadhvani is a very simple piece, just pure nritta. It's
right,
just dancing to the music, a
right.
simple piece of Swarapallavi. There's nothing for me to explain about it. I have choreographed that. But
Uh,
the second piece is Swagatam Krishna, my teacher's choreography.
right,
And that's her evergreen choreography, Swagatam Krishna. And for me, It's very special to me. I must thank you for giving me this platform to showcase Swagatam Krishna, because um, Swagatam Krishna teacher had choreographed and on one batch of students first, and I was one of that batch.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
So yeah, it's very special to me, and also it's that kind of a song which my grandmother would come to watch, and my mother would not watch me but close her eyes and listen to the song.
Yeah.
And teacher, of course, excelled in the performance of this
Performance.
song,
Yes.
and here
We do.
it is.
Yes, there it
It's
is.
an Uttukadu Venkata Subbayar Kirtana in
Yes. Yes.
Ragamalika.
Right.
Mohana, the song is in Mohana, Slokam is in Gambhiravani.
All right.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Now I'm going to show our viewers what a wonderful performer you are with the two pieces. Again, I really appreciate you coming and starting it. It so happened that yesterday we ended our day with Charanamule Nammiti, Ni Divya Charanamule Nammiti.
Yeah, who did this? Krishnaveni.
No, Lakshmi Babu Garu.
Lakshmi did it. Yes, yes. Okay, that's.
And then today we are actually calling Swagatam Krishna. It's so, they're all interlinked. So I really am so overwhelmed. Now let's, proceed with your performances, Yashoda.
Sani pagare sari gari ga pani 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 sani pagare
That was really, really awesome to see you, Yashoda. It was sweet to eyes. We will proceed with the second performance of yours now, which is Swagatam Krishna, my all-time favorite, and I'm sure it's yours too.
Yes, it is.
Krishna, Krishna, మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదనా మధుసూదనా మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదనా మధుసూదనా స్వాగతం కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదనా మధుసూదనా మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదనా మధుసూదనా స్వాగతం కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ స్వాగతం కృష్ణ భోగతప్త సులభ సుపుష్పగంధకలభ భోగతప్త సులభ సుపుష్పగంధకలభ భోగతప్త సులభ సుపుష్పగంధకలభ భోగతప్త సులభ సుపుష్పగంధకలభ కస్తూరి తిలకమణిప కృష్ణ కస్తూరి తిలకమణిప మమతాంగనంద గోపక కస్తూరి తిలకమణిప మమతాంగనంద గోపక కస్తూరి తిలకమణిప మమతాంగనంద గోపక కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదనా మధుసూదనా స్వాగతం కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ ముష్టికాసురచాణూరమల్ వల్లవి శారద మధుసుర ముష్టికాసురచాణూరమల్ వల్లవి శారద మధుసుర ముష్టికాసురచాణూరమల్ వల్లవి శారద మధుసుర ముష్టికాసురచాణూరమల్ వల్లవి శారద మధుసుర కాళింగనర్తన గోకుల రక్షణ సకల సులక్షణ దేవ శిష్ట జనపాల సంకల్ప కల్ప కల్ప శతకోటి సమపరాక్రమ 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 జీవ మదన కుమార్ ఉదయన విహార దైత్య సంహార దేవ ధీర మదన సుకుమార ఉదయన విహార దైత్య సంహార దేవ మధుర మధుర రస తారక తారస భజ యువతీ జన మానస పూజిత మధుర మధుర రస తారక తారస భజ యువతీ జన మానస పూజిత మధుర మధుర రస తారక తారస భజ యువతీ జన మానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జన మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి మధుర మధుర రస సార సార గజ యువతి జనమానస పూజి సద్ద పగరి పగరి నదరి నదం తగది నదం తగది నదం తగది తగది గదిం తగది తగది గదిం తగది తగది సద్ద పగరి పగరి నదరి తగది నదం తగది నదం తగది నదం తగది తగది గదిం తగది తగది గదిం స్వాగతం కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ స్వాగతం కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదన మధుసూదన మధురాపురి సదనా మృదువదన మధుసూదన స్వాగతం కృష్ణ శరణాగతం కృష్ణ
Amazing. I'm spellbound here. I can't even talk. After such a great performance, Yashoda, I just can't talk. Anything I talk, it makes it redundant, I would say. So it's I could see Krishna coming himself, blessing, and I could see all emotions. Oh my God, it's like goosebumps here, Yashoda. Really wonderful.
Thank you, Kiran. Somehow watching this has also, it's very touching for me also. It's just bringing back so many memories for me.
Right.
And also the composer Utukadu who wrote it and set it to music also himself.
Right.
How it came and then how I don't know. There's so many memories.
Yes, I believe I'm with you. I am with you. It brings back me memories also. I have never officially, formally learned this Swagatam Krishna. Next time, I would come to you and learn for sure.
Always.
Because
I know teacher would be happy.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, in a way, we are all students in this
Yes.
whole world, and we keep learning. And people like you giving us these books and new nuances to work on, or new ways to look um, life through in a different eye. It's like amazing. It's really amazing, Yashoda. I really, really appreciate. And then hopefully at one time I would reach at least to your level even a little bit. Let's
No,
see.
no, come on. You're doing so well. And I wanted to congratulate you on the festival, Kiran.
Thank you.
I know how difficult it is to do these things. And I know these are just things that you do out of sheer love
Yes.
with no expectation. Because there is expectation in the sense you want people to participate, you want people to understand, you want Kuchipudi to be known
Yes.
there. And I ఏం పట్టింది you can always say nobody does అండి నాకేం పట్టింది అని అనుకోవచ్చు.
Right.
You didn't think that way, Kiran, and that makes the difference. Who is taking it up, who is who's really taking the torch is what matters. Hearty congratulations to you.
Thank you, Yashoda. I wouldn't say a torch, but this is just, as you say, Udata Bhakti to the ocean of this art form, and then whatever I could. And in this situation, I mean, I wouldn't say whatever I could do much better, but in this situation, I would definitely
Yes.
try my best to do what I can. And then hopefully this continues. And next year, I would see you in person and we get to know you, or my students, or all over, Cleveland, people would know you and teach, learn from you.
I'll
That,
be very happy to come, Kiran. This festival is going to proliferate and it's going to be a very successful one. Then I will remember that I was there in the first show of
yes,
this, the
absolutely.
first year.
Honor. It's my honor, Yashoda. Thank you, and thank you for all your help in going. I know what you have done, and I think everybody should know also that you are the person who helped me, or encouraged me to do this also. So thank
No, I must thank you, Kiran, because our students from the University of Silicon Andhra were showcased through your platform,
you.
and
Right,
I must thank you. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so proud of the University of Silicon Andhra,
right.
and I grateful to you. I hope you're happy with what my students are
Oh,
doing there.
oh, they did a wonderful job, and I'm sure they are going to do a beautiful job in next 2 days, today and tomorrow
So
also.
glad.
Yes,
So
thank you.
happy to do this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran.
Uh-huh.
Okay, see
Have
you.
a good night,
Bye-bye.
and I will see you. And I hope you continue watching the rest of the couple of
Yes,
more episodes. Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. That was Yashoda Thakur to all my viewers. I hope you enjoyed her performance and her lecture demonstration. Now we have yet another profound dancer in our studio. I'm going to call upon her. Namaste, Anita Paliwal. How are you?
You don't have to do namaste to me, we are friends.
I know, Ani. I know. It's so nice to look at you, and I'm happy and glad that you are part of this instigation. And I know we've been talking since so long. We will do this, and finally today the day came, and I am so happy again. You are in this, and we will go further. To all my viewers, Ani, who I call her with love, is Anita Paliwal, is a thoroughly trained Kuchipudi artist with over 40 years of performing experience, over 2 decades of teaching experience. She is named Natya Kaumudi for her artwork. Congratulations, Anita. Her um, her lived experience in India and United States led a unique quality to her approaching to Kuchipudi. Her dance infused a local as well as international appeal. Anita trained under a tutelage of Padma Shri Srimati Shobha Naidu, coupled with her master's degree in performing arts from Central University, Hyderabad, allowed her performances to engage both dance and those of two new Indian classical dances. Anita has performed nationally and internationally. Her experience in dancing style has won her several prestigious awards, including Natya Kaumudi, Natya Visharada, Natya Vidyadhari, and Natya Chudamani from Kalpashri. At present, she is director of J Ananda Kuchipudi Dance School, established in 2009, and propagating Kuchipudi art from the next generation, for the next generation. Srimati Anita Paliwal is one of the first batch students of teacher who we call it with love. She is none other than Padma Shri Srimati Shobha Naidu. Welcome, Anita, for this second day Siddhendra Aradhana festival. It's a pleasure to have you in my studio. You would like to talk about your teacher and your experiences in regards to, Guru Sishya Parampara, or what was then and how it is now.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My humble obeisance to Siddhendra Yogi, to my Guru Padma Shri Shobha Naidu Garu, and to my mom. Without their blessings, this was not possible in this field. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this event, and I thank Nartana Academy and you, Kiran, for giving me this opportunity. And I feel I'm honored to be part of this, because as a dancers, what we are taking from the dance field, what we are having is not, at this point I'm feeling, it is important what we are giving back to the
Society.
next generation. And little by little, by teaching this art form to the next generation, we are in the lineage. That is what I believe. I'm not going to talk about, the history or, the theory part of it or anything, but I just want to talk about my experiences, with my guru and with my teaching strategies. How is it, how it was, and how it is going on right now. I joined the academy in 1980. I was the youngest one then, but no special excuses. Okay, it was such a discipline, and master garu, teacher, and Sita teacher, they were so strict. We had to go and do the basic steps కంపల్సరీగా చేయాల్సిందే. అవి చేయకుండా నేను జతీస్లోకి వచ్చాను, ఐ కేమ్ టు జతీస్, I don't have to do the steps. That was not the rule then. And the same thing, it is not right now. We have so much of time restriction. Here now, the generation is different. They have very limited time, but then it was not like that. We used to carry one small box and one water bottle all the time and go to dance class. It might be minimum 2 hours. It was minimum 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours. We never know. So I was thinking, like, I just put them all in the points, okay, so that how it was. It was very disciplined, and they were very very firm in teaching. Now if we do that in the name of discipline, or if we too firm, slowly they'll stop learning the dance.
Yes.
We need to be very smart with the, kids, and, you need to be very loving. And you can see the expressions, the minute, the tone is high, but still I'm continuing the, little bit. I'm not very sweet with my students. I tell them in the beginning itself. And the second point is, we were so involved in the dance, training, as well as in participating in the programs, how to learn, we used to give so much of respect to our seniors, since I was very youngest, and my seniors were there. And when, we were learning, we used to just humbly learn things from them. And now it is little bit different, than before. And just looking at teacher, while she was dancing, when we were watching her in the, rehearsal, when program was there, anything, that it itself was a great, learning for us. The way she used to give just a look like that, the move, and every time it was different. You cannot just copy or imbibe in you. Okay, teacher did that way, so I have to do the same way. No, when you no, when you see the next time in the rehearsal, she does it in a different way. So we were exposed to the very beautiful, seniors, and my teacher, and and she used to always insist you have to attend the programs and watch live performances. How important is that? I very well remember she told us, there is a Padma Subramaniam concert in Ravindra Bharati, and you all have to attend. I thought, it is Bharatanatyam. Why should I watch? You know, very small thinking, when we weren't understanding the thing. But when I was sitting in the audience, it was such a profound experience. I didn't know the depth of the abhinayam. You know,
Right.
but when I saw her performance, it just sinked into me. Then I thought, what I am doing is not even 1%.
Yes.
Then I decided, okay, what I'm ఇప్పుడు టీచర్ క్లాస్లో ఉంటారు కాబట్టి టీచరే కదానేమో అని అనుకుంటున్నామేమో, ఇంకా ఇంత చెయ్యొచ్చు అన్నది ఇంకా అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదు అనమాట. కానీ ఆ పర్ఫార్మెన్సెస్, లైవ్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ చూస్తే అప్పుడు అర్థమైంది, ఓకే, చాలా వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ వెరీ వెరీ లిటిల్, వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ వెరీ లిటిల్. That is how we learned from everything. We used to go every day. My mom used to hold my hand, take me to the academy weekly 4 or 5 times minimum, since it was very far. It was 12 kilometers then. But still she used to take me to the academy for the practice, and she used to wait till it is over, like that. It used to be 8 o'clock. I used to be there by 5 o'clock. So seeing the dedication, she always observed, my guru always observed who is dedicated, who is spending so much of time, and after few years she used to appoint us as a teachers. So that's the greatest reward for us.
Right.
That was the greatest reward. What I learned when I taught the student is, it's not we are teaching them or training them. It is more about we are refining our movements. See, when you correct, this has to be like this has to go like this. But all the time we are not following, maybe sometimes. But when we are teaching,
We know.
we are always, reviving and, refining ourselves also. It is
Right.
so, teaching is so beautiful. And one more thing is, and we used to be very spontaneous. Sometimes, some people, in the ballet, when some of them are absent, okay, we always used to memorize all
Through
other things also.
through looking at it, we learn so many things.
Yes, yes.
What?
In the,
Yeah.
for example, there is Parvati role, a Saraswati role, Sakis or beside the teacher and all. If somebody is absent, we used to just spontaneously go and, just dance, Will you do it? Yes, we used to be very ready for that. But whereas now, when we train the students, they're so scared if, we give a challenge to them. I'm not saying they're not challenged that way. Always
Right.
there should be a plan. If I say you need to practice this item, they will only practice that particular item, not anything. And the amount of time also. If it is only 1 hour, they are ready to, participate only 1 hour. But it was not like that before.
Right.
And I request all the, mothers and the students, just, that kind of perception should change. You need to be more flexible towards the timing, because it cannot be very mechanical all the time. I know they are very serious in the academics, they have, fixed time, but
Right.
still you need to be little more flexible towards, while you're learning, it is very, very important.
Correct.
And the other one is stamina. We used to perform for 2 hours. I very well remember, like 4 to 5 items, at a stretch. And these days, only half an hour, they are able to perform. That is because, while having a sadhana, if they are not doing it in the class, how can they perform on the stage?
Right.
So that's the thing, we have to take care of the stamina also. Fortunately, after I joined Isha Sadguru, Jaggi Vasudevan Garu, humbly, remember, uh, I started teaching yoga for the students. I understood how important it is to learn yoga for the dancers. When Yasho was talking, it is such a beautiful thing. You cannot separate yoga and dance. When
Yeah.
you're dancing, it is yoga. It
Yes.
is yoga. We take care of the breath, your energies are aligned and you focus better. So that's why, I added even basic yoga. I'm not an expert. I teach them basic yoga and basic pranayama, and it is helping them. That is the feedback I'm getting.
Correct.
The other thing is, we did not have any agenda when we are learning. Like,
Yes.
I want an award, I want a diploma, I want a certificate. And these days, the minute I get a call, they ask me, ma'am, మీరు programs చేపిస్తారండి? Or they ask me, will you give certificate?
So
Now,
true.
how can I, answer on phone without seeing the student,
Right.
how capable she is? So I always tell them, it is not possible for me to decide on phone, and you need to come in person. And once they join the class, eventually those things will happen.
Right.
Of course, they will perform. Of course, they will, go for diploma or certificate courses. That is the later on
Right.
stage.
Right.
So this is the other thing which I'm, facing when I'm training the
Sure.
students.
Sure.
So
Sure.
these are the aspects, of my understanding, that, we I think we need to make mothers also aware of the things, what all goes into dance. It's not just we are training the students.
Right. Right.
We need to connect to the mothers also. It's very, very important at
Right.
this time of point.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Annie, for your insight, Anita. I keep calling you Annie because that's how I'm used to. But for my viewers and all of the Facebook audience or YouTube audience, it's Anita Paliwal again. Natya Kamudi. She's very, very close to her teacher, Dr. Sri Padmasri Shobha Naidu Garu, and she's one of the first students, first batch students. So she's very, very into Kuchipudi, very passionate dancer. We have her students perform in front of us. Um, can we go on to the performances, Anita?
Yeah.
All right. So the first performer we have is a small little girl named Jasvi. She's just talking. Anita is just talking about how we need to inculcate and encourage little kids. So she just is been in the um, dance learning process 1 year down the line, I guess. So she just started her jatis. So we just have witnessed the first jati, which is very enthusiastically going to perform. Okay.
Talam kuto, tapa tadiki na tom, talam kuto, tapa tadiki na tom, talam kuto, tata, tipu, tapa tadiki na tom, tata, tipu, tapa tadiki na tom, tata, tipu, tadiki na tom, tati, dhanat tinda tati, dhanna tinda tati, dhanat tinda tati, dhanna.
That was Jasvi doing her the jati, which she recently started learning about an year ago. Thank you for that insight. That would be for all of my everyone who just started learning. This is kind of an encouragement for all the kids. Now we'll perform. I will proceed with the second performance, which is Shiva Panchakshari, choreographed by herself, Natya Kaumudi Anita Paliwal. The performers are Kirti Bhagi, Saumyika, Anvita, and Kiranmayi Pradeep. That is Shiva Panchakshari, wonderfully done, Ani, from by your students. Really, really nice. I see the effort
I
you have
must
put.
I must mention this is Isha music. You know, the
Uh,
minute I heard it first time, then itself, I just got a vision, dancing to it.
that's
So I decided to choreograph it, and
that's
this is the first recordings after the COVID, thing.
uh,
we have
right,
we have come outside from the homes, and for this Aradhanotsava, Siddhendra Aradhanotsava, we came
right.
out and we recorded for this with so
That
much
is.
of dedication.
Thank you so much, Ani. The next performance we have is by herself, Natya comedy Anita Paliwal, um, Nirupamana. It's a Javali performed by Anita, choreographed by her herself. Let's watch and enjoy.
Ah
That was amazing, Annie. That was really, really amazing. I could see you like back 20 years ago when we were, doing our masters and performing, and you were saying, Kiran, do this, not this way. It was like a teaching experience for you and learning experience for me. It was amazing. And I remember we used to always quarrel with Dhanashri Tilana. You have to do this, you have to do this. It bring back me so many memories. Thank you very much for that, Annie. Really. I see you and I feel you. I do. Thank you.
I really miss GT, golden threshold, sitting under the tree,
Under the
and
tree, and yeah, that's an amazing
such
experience
a,
by itself.
yes,
Wonderful years.
unforgettable memories.
Yes.
And I have to mention, one thing. First time when I choreographed for, you remember we learned Padam,
Yes.
Mogudachi Piliche from
Ogudechipili. Yes.
Kalanidhi Mami. And that after the complete choreography, first time I performed in Kuchipudi village, in Aradhana Utsava,
How
Siddhendra Aradhana Utsava. I
that's
think,
wonderful.
13 years, that I think 25 years back, you know. And the
That's
second time when I choreographed the Javali, again, first time, and, I'm presenting this same Javali, my choreography on Siddhendra Aradhanotsava.
Aradhana. So,
I'm
yes,
so blessed. And
yes, yes, you are.
thank
Let's
you.
proceed with another next item of yours. Bo Shambho. Bo Shambho, choreographed by Anita Paliwal.
No,
Um,
no, no, no.
yeah,
Boshambo is choreographed by teacher,
I'm
Padmashri Shobha
sorry,
Naidu Garu.
Shobha Naidu Garu. Thank you for correcting me, Anita. Padmashri Shobha Naidu Garu. Performers are uh, Kirtana Bhagi, Soumya, Anvita, and Kiranmayi Pradeep.
Kirti Bagi.
Kirti Bhagi.
Yes.
Kiranmayi Pradeep. Yes, Kirti Bhagi. That was wonderful, as I said, and beautiful choreography by teacher Garu, and wonderful done by your students. Now let's proceed with the next and the concluding item done by J Ananda Academy. J Ananda Kuchipudi Dance School is Dhanashri Tilana, another one of the fantastic choreographies of Guru Shri Padma Shri Srimati Shobha Naidu Garu, done by Saumika, Anvita, and Kirti Bhagi.
Gita
That was wonderful, Ani. To watch it again and again, no matter how many times I watch it, I cannot get over it. The fact that this is my favorite Tilana, and then it came out so well. Thank you very much for being in my studio today and being a part of this Siddhendra Aradhana. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Kiran, for making me part of this. And
Anytime.
I'm really feeling blessed to be part of this, really.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Bunny.
much.
Thank
And
you.
I congratulate and also thank all the team members of, of your team. They're doing wonderful job. It's not
Thank
easy for everyone to conduct these things.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
it's not. Thank you. That was Anita Paliwal for you, all of yours. Now we have another profound, great teacher in front of us. Um, Girija Kishore. Namaskar, Mandi. It's so nice to see you. Sri- You're not able to. You are. You are. You are. Yes, you are. Srimati Girija Kishore is one of the renowned Kuchipudi dancers. Out of passion towards art form, she learned Kuchipudi since her childhood and the journey continued uninterruptedly. She is dedicated student and a professional teacher who has trained many students. Srimati Girija Kishore pursued masters in dance, Essence School of Arts and Communication, Hyderabad Central University. She gave number of performances nationwide and participated in all major dance festivals across the country. She's been trained in advanced nuances in the in the discipline in this discipline by Srimati Dr. Janalgada Anuradha. Subsequently, she continued her career under the able guidance of Sri Pasumurthy Ramalinga Sastrigal. She was a sincere and honest student and gained remarkable appreciation under his tutelage and played lead roles in all major productions. After achieving remarkable success in the field of Kuchipudi, she was attracted to a style of Vilasini Natyam and decided to pursue the art form seriously. She was offered with an opportunity of learning Vilasini Natyam under Padma Bhushan, Dr. Swapna Sundari. She is one amongst the very few chosen dancers of Hyderabad who took Vilasini Natyam. Under the able guidance of her guru, she has studied the art form and followed three major aspects of this: traditional in detail, temple dance tradition, Alaya Natya Sampada, court dance tradition, Asthana Sampradayam, theatrical dance tradition, Ateri Bhagavatam. She has given major performances in this dance tradition and participated in temple rituals daily, yearly, Brahmotsavas of Sri Ranganatha Swami Temple, Rangabaga, Hyderabad since 2005. Her work experience: she is a director of Sri Guru Saranya Dance and Music Academy, teaching dance to young aspired students by through her institute and aspiring continuing for their career and communicating artists, contributing the skills of performing arts, teaching choreography and researches. She has been awarded many awards. Junior Research Fellow Scholarship from the Government of India, Young Artist Talent Scholarship from Government of India 2003, Merit Scholarship, Hyderabad Cultural Central University 2003. Titles, the honorary titles given to Srimati Girija Kishore are Natya Kuntala, received another title at Basara Saraswati Temple, Natya Visharada. Welcome to my studio, Siddhendra Aradhana Dance Festival Girija Kishore Garu. It is an honor to have you in the studio and to be a part of this festival.
Thank you. It's completely a pleasure to be here, Kiran Mehta.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So would you like to talk about the dance performances they're going through and how you got to learn or being inspired by Vilasini Natyam for about a couple of minutes so we can continue with our program?
Sure. Like some time back, I happened to watch Padma Bhushan Swapna Sundari Garu's performance here in Hyderabad. Me and my friend went to a very closest kind of performance it was. I still remember that memorable performance, which kind of completely changed my life by taking up this wonderful art form. That was the first time I had ever seen a dancer sitting on the ground and doing abhinaya, which was amazing and which was like very extensive, which I have never performed before in Kuchipudi. It was like very captivating and contagious. And of course, Swapnaka, like as we all fondly call her, our guru as Akka, she was like amazing. I call her, she's just an avatar. She's an avatar. She's phenomenal dancer. And it was an Abhinaya based performance on that day. Me and one of my friends, Madhavi Mana, we happened to watch this performance in that place and we were mesmerized with her performance. And I came back with lots of memories of that performance. That was like sitting down and, doing a padam for an hour and a half kind of thing, which actually the technique, which we can see only in Vilasini Natyam style, which is the erstwhile, the dance tradition of the erstwhile devadasis. So it was never before experience for me. And after some time, after a few days of that performance, we got to know that Swapnaka has decided to give training in this art form to few handpicked dancers in Hyderabad. And immediately, without a second thought, we have decided to join her classes. And luckily, we approached her, and luckily she agreed to give us training into Vilasini Natyam. And that day it all started. And after about a year and a half with a fundamental training in Vilasini Natyam, which is again a very memorable one, the technique, learning the technique of Vilasini Natyam. It's kind of very totally different from
what we have learned.
I had to almost undo the Kuchipudi training to learn Vilasini Natyam since it is the technique is very different.
Different. Okay. That's wonderful to know.
Pardon me?
No, I said that is wonderful to know. And, something new. Well, it's not new. Well, it is new for me. That Vilasini Natyam is like, there are people like you who is to practice Vilasini Natyam. Of course, Padma Bhushan Swapna Sundari ma'am is always there. But it's so interesting to know that you have, after learning Kuchipudi, you have, shifted gears and started.
An year and a half, Swapnaka, actually, we know that she performs here in a live temple in Manikonda, which is a personal property of Pitti family.
Okay.
So she told us that after her research into this art form, and after her performance of this art form on the stage, she happened to meet one of the owners of this temple,
Temple.
and they kind of approached Akka and requested her and kind of discussed with her that they had this tradition in their temple
Right.
long back during their forefathers, and requested Akka whether she can continue that tradition in their
In there.
personal temple.
Oh,
Yes.
that's wonderful.
And that's how she got the opportunity to perform in a live temple. All
Fine.
those the temple tradition, the temple dance tradition.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is the first temple after independence which has reinstated this temple ritual dance form back to its original place.
Tell glory.
That's
Of course. Of
yes.
course. It's really wonderful.
And, yes. And we have started, like ours was the second batch. My seniors were Dr. Yashoda Thakur, Dr. Anupama Kailash, Kathak dancer, senior Kathak dancer Sanjay Joshi ji, and Purva Dhanashri. These were my seniors, and myself, and Madhavi Mada joined as the second batch into this art form. And immediately after a year or so, Akka has taught us the temple ritual dances and gave us the opportunity to perform in this temple. Since then, it's been 15 years now that I have been performing this art form, the temple ritual aspect of this art form in the
Right.
temple.
That's
till
fun.
now.
That's really wonderful to know. It's an honor to have you, Girija Garu, and I really looking forward to meet you in person when I come back to India for a brief while. Yes, let's continue with your presentations for tonight for you and today morning for us. You want to talk about the dancer and the dance, what the item is?
First item, two of my students will be performing.
Right.
Itade Parabrahma Ide Ramakatha.
Okay.
As per your request, we have
Thank
chosen two kirtanas of Lord Rama.
Of Lord Rama.
So,
Thank
yes.
Thank you.
So
Okay,
the
let's.
first one will Itade Parabrahma Ide Ramakatha. The music, composition, and the vocal is by late Sri Satyaraj Venumadhav Garu. He is a wonderful singer, and we would love to perform to his voice. Today, my students, Shreya and Sadeli, will be performing these two items for you. And I would like to once again thank you for this opportunity. And from my students' behalf also. So let us see the first item, Itade Parabrahma.
Yeah. All right. Whenever you're ready.
इतडे परब्रह्ममिदिये रामकथा इतडे परब्रह्ममिदिये रामकथा शतकोटि
విస్తరము సర్వ పుణ్య ఫలము ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మమిదియే రామ కథ శతకోటి విస్తరము సర్వ పుణ్య ఫలము ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మమిదియే రామ కథ శతకోటి విస్తరము సర్వ పుణ్య ఫలము ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మమిదియే రామ కథ శతకోటి విస్తరము సర్వ పుణ్య ఫలము ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మమిదియే రామ కథ ఇదియే రామ కథ. ధరలో రాముడు పుట్టే ధరణి వెంటాడే అరణ్యవాసులకెల్ల అభయమిచ్చే 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 సొరిది ముకూజములు చొప్పనాదిని పోసే సొరిది ముకూజములు చొప్పనాదిని పోసే ఖరదూషణులను ఖండించి వేసే సొరిది ముకూజములు చొప్పనాదిని పోసే ఖరదూషణులను ఖండించి వేసే నిద గరిత నిద గగమ నిద మగ మని సరి సాదిత మగ మప మగరిత నిద గరిత నిద గరి గమని నిద మగ మప నిద మగ మని నిద మని నిద సగరి గమ గమ గరి సరి సగరి సగరి సరి సరి నిద మగ మని నిద ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మమిదియే రామ కథ ఇదియే రామ కథ. తెలిసి వారిని చంపి కిష్కింధ సుగ్రీవుడిచే వనది చిరాటే వానరులతో తెలిసి వారిని చంపి కిష్కింధ సుగ్రీవుడిచే వనది చిరాటే వానరులతో తెలిసి వారిని చంపి కిష్కింధ సుగ్రీవుడిచే వనది చిరాటే వానరులతో కనలి రావణ కుంభకర్ణాదులను చంపి కనలి రావణ కుంభకర్ణాదులను చంపి వనిత చేపొని పళ్ళి వచ్చిన యోధము కనలి రావణ కుంభకర్ణాదులను చంపి వనిత చేపొని పళ్ళి వచ్చిన యోధము ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మమిదియే రామ కథ ఇదియే రామ కథ. సౌమిత్రియు భరతుడు శత్రుఘ్నుడు సౌమిత్రియు భరతుడు శత్రుఘ్నుడు భూమియేలే కుశలవ పుత్రులంగాంచే సౌమిత్రియు భరతుడు శత్రుఘ్నుడు భూమియేలే కుశలవ పుత్రులంగాంచే శ్రీమంతుడై నిలిచే శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి మీద శ్రీమంతుడై నిలిచే శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి మీద కామించి విభీషణ లంకకు పట్టము గట్టె శ్రీమంతుడై నిలిచే శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి మీద కామించి విభీషణ లంకకు పట్టము గట్టె గరి సని సగ మని గమ గమని సని సని గమ పమ గరి గరి నిజ గమ నిజమ గమ ని స ని స ని స మ గ మ ప మ గ ని స ని స గ రి స ని స గ రి గ మ ని ని ద మ గ మ ప ని ద మ గ మ ని ని ద మ ని ని స స గ రి గ మ గ రి స ని స గ రి స గ రి స రి స ని ద ద ని ద మ గ మ ని ని స గి ద టే పర బ్రహ్మ విదియే రామ కథ శతకోటి విస్తరము సర్వపుణ్య ఫలము ఇతడే పర బ్రహ్మ విదియే రామ కథ ఇది రామ కథ
Such beautiful performance. Wonderful performance, Shreya and Sarayu.
Thank you.
I see how you have transformed your students into you, and the way they do it, the all of those melakawalu. It's like really beautiful to see them do that. Let's proceed with the second item, and you want to talk about that?
Yeah, the second item today, I think I just need a minute before I start their second item.
Sure.
Just give me a minute.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this would be the concluding item for this evening, everyone. Not evening, I mean evening in India, but morning our timing, USA Eastern Standard Time. It was wonderful hosting this event so far, and I'm looking forward for tomorrow's performances, and also looking forward for the lecture demonstration, which has been in line by Anupama Kailash ma'am. We are ready for you.
Yeah. The next item is Broche Varaguruna, Minuvina. So before concluding our performance, today's evening's performance by our academy, I would like to once again extend my thank you to you, dear Michael, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this gala event. And I wish you all the best and success for the coming years to continue this festival with flying colors. And I wish good luck to all the participants who are coming next with their wonderful, beautiful performances.
That is so nice of you, Girija Garu, for saying that. And it's my honor to have you in this festival. And the main goal is to have a platform for every young aspiring artists to come out. And in this pandemic situation, we need someone or something to go by or make ourselves motivated to have some kind of ray of hope, and then media to express our art form. And we should not stop us. The pandemic should not stop us. We should continue with what we are doing. And I really appreciate you coming forward and making this possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The pleasure
Thank
is all ours. Thank you once again, and congratulations for this. And I wish you all the best. So my students Sarayu and Sriya are coming up with Broche Varagurida Ninumida Prabhuvara. Thank you.
Thank you.
सीतापते
Wonderful, Shreya and Sarayu. Can you come in front of the camera so our audience can see? That is Shreya and that is Sarayu. Thank you both. It was wonderful watching you both. Is your ma'am there? Beautiful, really beautiful, very well done. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you so much.
I see. Thank you.
Sariyu has to chip in between. Just 2 days back, since another participant who was was supposed to come in case of Sariyu, she suddenly fell sick and she could not come back and dropped out. So Sariyu has to chip in just 2 days before the practice. So I feel she's done a good job. Both of them are really very, very committed students of mine. I feel very proud about them and all the best for you to do much better. Long way to go.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you and both of your students. And it's wonderful to have such a guru, and it's vice versa. You have beautiful and dedicated students. Thank you for being a part of Siddhendra Aradhana, and I hope the other student feels better faster.
Hope so. And I owe all my success and credit to all my gurus. Whatever I learned, it's just because of my gurus and my parents, my family.
Absolutely.
It's a team work. And Guru Pito Namaha, all this success I owe to all my gurus. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was the concluding item for Saturday morning event of Siddhendra Aradhana. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I'll see you again in the evening at 6 o'clock. Till then, keep dancing, and I'll see you.